Good evening, my darling. How are you? I trust you've taken the time to properly bid farewell to this aging body of yours. Excellent, since we will be transferring your soul into a new one very soon. Oh, yes, I can see the anticipation in your eyes. Ah, you've grown to be quite wise about these transitions, haven't you? Though your nervousness back then was rather endearing, now you are still endearing, just in a different way. Come then. The floating tower and its contents await us, and I confess I am rather excited to show you the possible new bodies I've procured for you since your last renewal. You know how I despise seeing even the smallest lines form around those bright, clever eyes of yours. You've been in this current body for what? 53 years? Indeed, it's served us well, but I simply cannot bear to watch time steal away its vitality any longer. I know you're thinking about how much effort transferring your soul to a new body will require of me. I can always tell when that brilliant mind of yours starts calculating costs and consequences. But yes, my sweet, each transfer does draw upon my essence. Years of my potential future fed into the ritual to preserve what matters to me most. You. On to the lift, my love. What is time, really, when measured against what we have? This very special bond. I would rather have a few hundred years with you than thousands of years of loneliness without you. You know this. Besides, you know perfectly well how much I adore that sharp wit of yours. Just last month, you negotiated that trade agreement with the Mountain Lords and the Oni clans that would have taken me years to achieve on my own. And your observations about the Tsukikage Kingdom's military movements. Absolutely invaluable. You are so much more than a companion or a consort. You're the most precious thing in my entire collection. It's cold up here. I have my tales. Take my cloak. I am fine, I promise. Though I admit it's not solely your intellectual gifts that make you indispensable. You have such creative ways of helping me unwind after particularly tedious court sessions. The way you, and only you, can make me forget about all the troublesome ambassadors and trade disputes, for a few hours at least. Ah, here we are. The floating tower. I do love riding the lift, too. Do you feel that? The warding and preservation magic humming through the tower walls. Each of those magically preserved body shells waiting within to potentially be inhabited by your soul. The wards on the door recognize us. We are invited to enter. Yes, most would call what we do here unnatural, twisted, selfish. But personally, I like to think of it as artful and practical preservation. Kitsune queens like me live for a very long time, and we must watch our beloveds die. You, however, do not have to die so early. I have mastered a special type of magic, and I want to appreciate and cherish you for a very long time to come. I do love this place. Magnificent. This tower has stood for over 8 centuries now, commissioned by my great-great-grandmother when she first began collecting important things. Sacred artifacts, ancient treasures, and now, well, you know what we keep here now. Sealed crystal cases, yes. You seem particularly eager tonight, my darling. I can feel your curiosity radiating from you. It's good. I do so love it when you're enthusiastic. The selection of bodies I have for you tonight is far more varied and interesting than what was available during your last transition. These took years of magical preparation, and as you like surprises, of course I never tell you what they're going to be prior to you coming in here to see them for yourself. I've been studying your preferences quite carefully over the decades, though you have surprised me before. The second body you chose, that creature, I would never have predicted that. Still, it served us well in intimidating visitors to our realm. I've learned to appreciate your eclectic tastes. All the magically preserved body shells in these glass cases were procured through purely legitimate means, naturally. Some were magically constructed in specialized workshops, others discovered in remote locations where their original owners had moved on. A few unfortunate souls succumbed to poisons that have since been thoroughly cleansed from their systems, and some warriors who fell in honorable combat had their forms salvaged and improved upon. The timing of tonight is rather crucial. I've been carefully rationing my magical fox essence for months in preparation. Doing the soul transfer for you will leave me vulnerable for several days afterward, which is precisely why we keep the exact time and date of these transfers secret from anybody else. A moonless night like tonight is the perfect time. You do realize, don't you, that you are never permitted to leave me? Not that you'd want to, of course, but even if some fleeting madness took over that gorgeous mind of yours, I simply couldn't allow it. You are far too precious, far too essential to my happiness and success. What did you say? Oh, poking fun at my absolute devotion to you now, are we? That's why I adore you so. You handle my intensity with such charming nonchalance. You've never once given the impression that anything has been done against your will. Shall we begin our tour then? All right. In the first crystal case, we have this unique specimen. The giant furry worm. Magically constructed by an eccentric earth mage who had unconventional ideas, you could say, about beauty. 20 feet in length when fully extended, covered in the most luxurious fur you can imagine, with 42 prehensile appendages. Capable of burrowing to great depths. Capable, also, of speaking the human languages, as all these bodies are. I cannot have a consort-advisor who cannot speak, correct? The worm will molt during seasonal changes, quite a bit. But what do you think? Shall we look at them all before you make your final decision, my sweet? Inside the second case is the solar slime. This one was found in an abandoned wizard's laboratory. The original researcher died of old age, but his final experiment lived on, if lived is even the right word. Slimes like these don't have souls, but the biological and magical material is viable, if you know what I mean. It can be used by us, yes. The solar slime absorbs sunlight for sustenance, is completely immune to radiation, and can reshape its form at will. The perpetual dripping is unfortunate, and yes, it does eat. Naturally, there are advantages and disadvantages to all of these. Let's take a look at the next one. Now, this one I'm particularly proud of. Commissioned specifically with you in mind, should you choose it. A fully functional mecha-suit body with integrated magical cores. Enhanced strength, built-in weaponry, even flight capabilities, plus a comfortable cockpit where I could ride along on our adventures. That's true. I don't think this one would fit into our bed, though, as large as it is. Maybe I should have thought that through more thoroughly. Now, to the next magically preserved body shell. Yep, that is exactly what you think it is. An octopus merman. The body was salvaged from a battlefield from the Deep-Sea Rebellion 20 years back. Poison extracted, gills regrown, tentacles fully repaired and functional, with a few fun additions. Remarkable dexterity and underwater capabilities can also function perfectly well on land. The downside is that the body is always kind of wet and has a smell like a seafood restaurant. Next, then. The Shadow Wraith. Fascinating. It was originally a spy who died during a spy mission to the underworld, but one of my scouts managed to spot it and preserve the essence before it dissipated entirely. Phase-shifting abilities? Perfect for reconnaissance, though this body is only capable of speaking in loud, multi-layered whispers, and may occasionally have trouble touching solid objects. Yes, it depends on how bright the sunlight is that day. Indeed, even if a body's artificial or semi-corporeal, they still degrade. My darling, you've yet to find a type of body that you're willing to inhabit for very long periods of time. Otherwise, I could just find you more of the same of what you've had before, yes? But you do seem to like a change-up every 50 years or so, and the bodies never hold up too well. Thus, we'll leave it at that for now. This body is a mushroom elemental. It was discovered in the deep forest after its druidic community was relocated. It has the ability to commune with plant life, possesses natural healing abilities, seasonal camouflage, and the head will grow an ongoing supply of various edible fungi once a soul has been placed into the body. It does release spores, though, particularly when experiencing strong emotions, and apparently plant gossip involves soil quality and aphid populations. Don't ask how I know. Now, there's just one more. This body is a celestial warrior. A night celestial, specifically, dark skin, shimmering eyes, and wings swirling with stellar energy. This one fell during the War of the Seven Moons. You remember that, right? And was one of the only bodies that was almost fully intact. 7 feet of elegance and enhanced strength. The presence can get very intense, however. For others, that is. Nothing that one such as myself would find difficulty handling. Is that a little smile, my love? Did you want to choose this one, or are you going to surprise me again? All right, I'll let you think about it for a bit. Come find me in the middle of the soul transfer ritual space when you're ready.